Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Azren, the language nerd here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's YouTube video and of course podcast episode. Today I'm continuing my Azren's Top Language Learning Tips series. If you haven't seen the other episodes in this series, please visit my website. I'm going to put a link in the episode description box. Basically, what I'm doing with the series is I'm distilling literally thousands of pieces of content that I've made over the past 7 years as I'm recording this. And I'm distilling all that information and distilling out the most important language learning advice that I've ever shared. And today's episode is arguably the number one most important piece of language learning advice that I've ever shared over the past 7 years. It's so important that I'm debating actually putting this one episode at the very top of my Azren's Top Language Learning Tips website. And this piece of advice can be summarized with the following acronym. RAA. Stands for Research, Action, Adjust. Maybe you can anticipate where this video is going. Well, when you're trying to learn a language, the first thing you probably want to do is do some research. You want to do some research about how to learn a language. You want to get research from different sources as well. You want to hear from a variety of people from different perspectives of how to learn a language. So person A says a great way to learn a language is to listen to podcasts. Use a program like Pimsleur. Person B says you got to speak from day one, get lots of speaking practice. Go on italki.com and hire different affordable tutors and get lots of speaking practice with them. Person number 3 says, you should take classes because classes are great for XYZ reasons. Person 4 says, oh my God, all you need is comprehensible input and you're going to naturally acquire the language. Person 5 says, oh no, I have this very personalized system where I use this app for this, that app for that, this app for this, and then whatever it is. They've got these 6 resources, they put them together, and it creates this perfect quote unquote system. So you're going to do some research. You can listen to advice from language learning experts, maybe linguists who've dedicated their entire professional career to the field. You can listen to people who are just sharing their own personal anecdotes. You can listen to whoever you want, really. You want to get a nice wide spectrum of different opinions. You can do so by watching videos, listening to podcasts, you can read books, you can read blog posts, however you prefer to consume information. So you do some research. After you do your research, you're going to naturally resonate with some people's message more than others. For example, one person might say, oh, I love learning using these 6 different apps. But you're not a very techie person. You think to yourself, I don't want to learn from apps. And then you watch another video and they say, oh my God, I drive 2 hours a day for work. So for me, I learned using podcasts. And you realize, oh my God, I drive a lot for work too. I didn't know I could learn from podcasts. I think that's going to be really good for me. And so you're going to pick that as a learning method because that's what resonated most with you. Because remember, there isn't a best way to learn a language. It's almost like you're trying to get to the top of a mountain, but there are 29 different routes to get to the top. And there's actually more than 29, really. There are many different ways to get to the top, and you need to find the best route for you. So the only way to start that process off is to research. Heck, even if you're someone who's partway through their language learning journey, well, you're definitely experiencing certain challenges. There are certain roadblocks you're facing. There are things that you're trying to figure out that you're unable to figure out. You're struggling with the grammar point. Maybe your speaking is really difficult for you. Maybe your listening comprehension's hard. Who knows what it is? Same thing. Research is the starting point to solve those problems. Consuming opinions from other people is the starting point to solve that problem. The information is the unlock. So once you've done that research, right, you've consumed information from different people, now it's time to take action. You've learned new information about how to solve whatever language learning problem you're facing. You think you found a solution that will work. Now it's time for you to take action and try it out. Now, once you try it out, you're going to need to likely likely you're going to have to make some small adjustments. That's why the acronym is research, action, adjust. You'll take action and you'll realize, ooh, you know, that worked pretty well, but it wasn't perfect. Or, oh my God, that didn't work at all. Or something in between, of course. I'll give you an example. When I was 15 years old, one of the things that sparked my interest in language acquisition was a French exchange trip that I did. I spent 3 months in France when I was in high school. I went to school there. I lived with a French family. I had a French exchange student. Upon returning, I thought to myself, I really like learning languages. And I came away with the idea that immersion was some kind of a magic bullet to learning a language. Spending 3 months in a country will magically take you to fluency. Now, I was right in many ways because immersion is very helpful, and at least for me was very helpful, but I had overestimated how much I could learn in another language in a 3-month window. So when I was learning Spanish, which was the next foreign language I did after French, I spent 2 months in Peru, overestimating how much progress I would make by doing a 2-month immersion. By doing the 2-month immersion, aka taking action, I was able to adjust afterwards and have more realistic expectations of how much progress I can expect by doing these intensive bursts by traveling to a new country. So by taking action, you can adjust, you can make adjustments accordingly in the future as you continue to learn whatever language you're trying to learn. Sometimes the adjustment you'll make is you'll need to actually do more research. Sometimes you'll do research, you'll come across some kind of method that you thought would work, you try it, and then you realize, oh my God, that actually didn't work at all. And you go back to the research phase. I've met many people who did their research on learning a language, whatever research they did, and they were convinced that just using Duolingo would be enough. And for some people, they are able to make that work, by the way. But literally just 2 weeks ago, I talked to someone who's like, Azren, I was using Duolingo and I thought I was making progress. And then I went to Barcelona, Spain, and I couldn't talk to anyone at all. And I was quite surprised. So then I had to go rethink my process and adjust how I'm learning a language. And now I've decided I think private classes are the way that I want to go for me. And so that's why he hired one of my instructors for that. And so that's the most important thing. So let's summarize this. Arguably, one of the most important pieces of language learning advice you can hear is to follow an RAA process. Research, take action based on your research, and then make adjustments along the way, right? Research, what are some different ways to learn a language? What are some different ways to solve the language learning problem you're facing? Take action based on the research, and then adjust based on your actions. When you take action, you'll learn something from it. So make adjustments based on what you learn. The final thing I'll say to wrap this up, sometimes people, when they research, they get overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed by the research they do, meaning they hear of all these options to learn a language and they get overwhelmed by it. They think, oh my God, I don't know what I should do. Should I do that? Should I do this? I don't know. What should I do? Right? And so if you are the type of person who gets overwhelmed or doesn't know what decision to make, well, one thing you can try, it's a really good foolproof solution to this, is pick one. You can almost flip a coin, pick one at random and use that resource or follow that methodology for 20 hours. You can even do more. 50 hours is good too. Let's say 20 to 50 hours. Use it, like actually use it, commit to it for 20 hours and see what you think. After 20 hours, even sometimes it might take longer, but 20 hours for most of you should be enough. After that 20-hour mark, you're going to know, or at least have a pretty good idea of what you think of that resource or that methodology. You'll think, yeah, I like it. Let me keep using it. Or you'll think, maybe I should try something else. So that's a good foolproof way to figure out if something is the right resource or method for you or not. Okay, let's wrap this episode up here. Thank you again for watching it. Please go check out the other episodes in the series by visiting my website. It's azrenthelanguagenerd.com/top tips. The link is in the episode description box. If you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to contact me by visiting Azren the Language Nerd AZREN, thelanguagenerd.com/contact. You can email me or message me on social media directly from that one page. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye. See you.